Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. The Alexandra Hospital has expanded its diagnostic services with the procurement of a chemistry analyzer. The medical laboratory device is used to calculate the concentration of certain substances within samples of serum, plasma, urine, and/or other body fluids.
The cost to us was US $61,472. The machine, when it is commissioned, will be able to process for donors, HIV, Hep B, HCV, HTLVI2, cancer markers, PSA, thyroid function tests, fertility profiles, and other special chemistry. These tests would usually have been sent to sync kits to private labs for processing. And so we are hopeful that with this investment of some $61,472, we will be able at our own hospital to provide some of this testing and provide quicker diagnostics to our people. That is what we're seeking to achieve. And I commend, of course, our new Minister of Health, the Honorable General Nisbet, and her team for this undertaking and for continuing the build-out of the health infrastructure on the island of Nevis.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mac Brantley. Meantime, at his January 26th press conference, Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mac Brantley, also gave an update from the NIA's Ministry of Health regarding testing for the human immunodeficiency virus HIV.
The ministry wishes to inform persons that HIV rapid testing and counseling services are available at the Health Promotion Unit and at health centers. A walk-in rapid testing schedule will be posted on the Health Promotion Unit Facebook page and at the respective health centers. All that this is saying now is that the old-time days of having to go and take some blood and wait for days to find out what your status is in terms of HIV testing, those days are over. We now have rapid testing available to us where you can walk in, get tested, and walk out. And we're encouraging persons to do that. Of course, it is entirely confidential, and we urge you to know your status to get tested. World AIDS Day was on the 1st of December 2022, but the Health Promotion Unit hosted its annual HIV testing after a 2-year hiatus as well due to COVID. A total of 99 persons were counseled, tested, and provided with information on how to protect themselves and their partners from contracting HIV and other STIs.
Walk-in HIV testing services are offered at the Health Promotion Unit on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, at the Combermere Health Center on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and at the Gingerland Health Center on Fridays. Over the last 4 months, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, has been offering technical support to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. In Nevis, the participants of the training included the Department of Physical Planning, Nevis Water Department, and the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC. Director of the Department of Physical Planning, Raoul Pemberton, spoke about the training that the staff of the departments underwent, as well as the piece of equipment that was donated to the Nevis Electricity Company Limited, NEVLEC.
The training that was offered is in the area of energy efficiency, renewable energy, and grid stability. The training was undertaken in various forms, which include in-person and online. With about 2 weeks ago, there was a training in person in Barbados, and at this training, the JICA offered to the NIA, or gifted to the NIA, a data logger which would assist in the recording of data to ensure regular voltage, frequency, and amperage that is needed for the supply of electricity to the residents. So we are here today to hand over to NEVLEC this data logger that was gifted to the NIA.
Minister of Physical Planning and the Environment, the Honorable Spencer Brandt, expressed his gratitude on behalf of the Premier and people of Nevis to JICA for their donation.
I am indeed delighted to report that the JICA and the Japanese would have recognized that while we are part of a federation, two islands, one federation, we were fortunate enough to receive a piece of equipment that normally would have had one piece of equipment going to St. Kitts. I want to use this rostrum and this forum to express our sincere thanks on behalf of the Premier and on behalf of the people of Nevis to the Japanese for this very tangible donation. I believe that NEVLEC would find this piece of equipment to be very important because it would be able to give them some critical data in analyzing their supply, in analyzing their distribution. And I believe at the end of the day, it would go down to a much better service to the people of Nevis. I want to encourage the people at NEVLEC who would use this piece of equipment to take care of it.
Also present at the brief handing over ceremony were Chairman of the NEVLEC Board of Directors, Stedman Tross, and Roma Merchant, Acting Manager and Financial Comptroller of NEVLEC. The brief handing over ceremony took place at the Social Security Building at Pinnis on Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. Still to come, IMF reports that St. Kitts and Nevis is recovering from COVID-19 pandemic and cost of living crisis. The details after this break.
Tune into NNC on MTV. Don't worry if you don't have cable either. NNC will bring the news to you wherever you are. Facebook and Facebook Live. YouTube and YouTube Live. NevisTVOnline.com. Roku app, NTV mobile app, Smart TV, Apple TV, and any other IPTV platforms. When me ANC and you ANC, NNC.
Welcome back. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is reporting that St. Kitts and Nevis is recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic and cost of living crisis. The assessment follows an IMF mission led by Alexandra Shalu, who visited St. Kitts and Nevis from January 16th to 27th for the 2023 Article 4 consultation discussions on economic developments and macroeconomic policies. The IMF official says the large fiscal buffers accumulated over a decade of prudent fiscal policy have supported the authorities' forceful policy response to protect the livelihood of the population. The outlook is positive but subject to downside risks in the short term, primarily stemming from global headwinds impacting key tourism source markets and commodity price volatility. Preserving the country's legacy of fiscal prudence in a context of concerns over the sustainability of citizenship by investment program resources and a pressing need for investment in climate change adaptation will require prioritizing policies. This includes tightening the fiscal stance through phasing out crisis-related measures, rationalizing and controlling current spending, streamlining social transfers, and a holistic overhaul of the taxation framework. Fiscal space could support investment in climate change adaptation, accelerate economic diversification, and restore waning competitiveness. The concentration of risks in the banking sector calls for a business model change, including de-risking of the investment portfolio, addressing legacy asset quality issues, and safeguarding government deposits while supporting credit growth and financial stability. Reformed persons exiting the prison system now have a greater opportunity to become productive citizens, following a new initiative introduced by the St. Kitts and Nevis Cabinet of Ministers, led by Prime Minister the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew. Released inmates who are members of the rehabilitation program will be attached to the Skills Training Empowerment Program, STEP, or a similar program where they can gain employment to support themselves and their families. Virgil Hodge, Rehabilitation Officer at His Majesty's Prison, applauds the government for introducing this measure, saying it will reduce the recidivism rates. It is a good initiative and pilot project that the government is using to help young men and women. The senior prison official adds that 2 young men from the program were recently employed. One is attached to a government program, while the other works with a private company. many. Job opportunities will also be offered to others who will be released within the next 3 months. The rehabilitation program engages incarcerated men and women in educational programs, music, art, agriculture, construction, baking, mentorship, and training, among others. And that's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.